Good morning, beloveds. Yeah, my voice is still a little weird. Okay. I haven't had anybody to talk to this morning except for the cat, so I called him and he says, "Oh, you sound much, much better. Stay home." And I was like, okay. What am I going to do? He offered me a week off. Yeah, because I caught something. And I was like, sure. You know what? I need a break. I'm not going to argue with you if you're not going to have me work this week. So, which means I've completely lost the thread of, hello, what day of the week is it? What is the date? Now, because I do this, I know the date. It's June 17th, and I'm pretty sure it's Friday. So, I'm hoping to get my voice back all the way. All right. So, it is June 17th. Our title is Dreamtime. The first quote is, "The Lord will perfect that which concerneth me," and that is Psalm 138:8. The next quote is, "The world is saturated with divinity, immersed in reality, and filled with possibility. We must take this divine possibility and mold it into a present actuality in everyday experience." And that is The Science of Mind, page 490. I believe that every human being must have their opportunity to dream. But true dreaming is not idle wishful thinking. It is casting our imagination beyond where we are now. It is seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, tasting, and feeling ourselves functioning vitally within our heart's desire, even if that may seem virtually impossible at the moment. To dream is to mentally create a new place for self-expression where none shows forth now. But we cannot do this if we are encumbered by the demands of the day. Consequently, there must be private times in which we allow our creative images to soar. I suggest we take care in sharing our dreams with others, because not everyone will see them as we do. Some people may denigate them as foolishness. We can, however, share these important images with those who dare to dream with us. The only limitation the mind of God knows is that which is what we impose upon it. Otherwise, its response to us is limitless. In all our creative endeavors, we have a willing partner in the universal presence. We may be sure that it receives our images with the same fullness of heart with which we create them, and stands ready to make them a physical reality. God creates all that is, and I daily use divine wisdom in all that I think, say, and do. I continually dissolve any sense of limitation in me and move my sights to abundant living, loving relationships, and healthy activities. I know God responds to my dreams, and I am rewarded with the fruits of my vision. Gratefully, I acknowledge my oneness with God. And that is MS. That is Margaret Stortz. And immediately what I am reminded of as I read through this is Star Trek. I don't know about you, but I literally grew up on Star Trek. Star Trek is a little older than me. A little bit. And so I grew up watching Star Trek. And I grew up watching reruns of the original, and my dad was obsessed with The Next Generation. Like, if it was on, and for a long time we only had like 3 or 4 channels, so and then we got, my senior year in high school, we got cable out where we lived, and then all bets were off. And I remember that the first time I brought my husband home, he spent the weekend watching Star Trek with my father. And so when we left, my dad was like, "You know what? If you break up, just send him back. You can stay." And I was like, "All right, whatever, Dad." But when you think about it, Star Trek was a way of Gene Roddenberry sharing his dreams with the world. His dreams in a number of different ways. One, the gadgets. Let's talk about the gadgets. the iPad, the communicator, some of the scanners, the 3D printers. So, Gene Roddenberry had this amazing way of sharing his dreams for the world with the world in ways that made all these people go, hey, why can't we have that? He also, he had the first interracial kiss. He had a woman in a command position. He had a woman in a black woman, a woman of color in a communication position, in a high ranking position. So he had this way of informing us of his dreams for the world in economic ways, in socio-political ways, in relationships, and just in cool gadgets. He had this way of sharing them with the world, and people took that and ran. I can't think of a better example of Dreamtime than that. And so really, honestly, Gene Roddenberry changed the world in amazing ways by telling us cool stories, by sharing his dreams with us in ways that all of us could go, yeah, no, I'm on board with this. Now, there are a lot of people who are looking at this going, what? And there are a lot of people, what my favorite one lately has been a lot of people who have been criticizing Star Wars and Star Trek and, the comic books as being woke. And I'm like, you hadn't been paying attention. They've been woke the whole time. These mediums have been sharing dreams of a world that they would like to see. And they're still doing it. And they are telling us, hey, you know what? If we don't pay attention to this is what could happen. Or, hey, you know what? If we do this could happen. So it's like we've got these ways of sharing these dreams. So why don't we do that? I mean, obviously, I'm not going to go out and write a big TV show, but and that's one of the things when I was in school I learned when you want to get people into a meditative state, one of the ways to do that is to engage all of your senses. And so when you dream big, engage all of your senses. What would it look like? What would it smell like? What would it taste like? What would it feel like? Engage all of your senses. Do you have to go and splash it out to the entire world? Well, if that's what you want, dream big. If you just have a little dream that you want to accomplish for your life, engage all of your senses. Engage all of your senses. Make it as if you were visiting another world, and then bring that world back here. And she's right. There are people that we can share our dreams with, and there are people that we probably shouldn't. As I mentioned, all of these, Star Wars, Star Trek, the comic books, they've all been attacked. They've all been attacked for a variety of reasons. Now, fortunately, they're big enough that they can take it. If you're not, you know who's safe to share your dreams with and who's not. Share them with safe people and let everybody else wonder. Let everybody else wonder. So that's Dreamtime. Dreamtime. All right. So the Lord will perfect that which concerneth me. Psalm 138:8. The energy that you put into it. Let me put it to you this way. Where your attention goes is where your power goes. So focus your attention on your dreams. And then all of the power that the Lord has to bear will come to bear on what you are doing. And then the second one, oh my gosh, the world is saturated with divinity. There's power all around us. Immersed in reality, and he uses the capital R there, and filled with possibility. We must take this divine possibility and mold it into present actuality in everyday experience. That power is available for us to use, and it is up to us to use it. It is always available to us. The only limits on it are the ones that we ourselves set. So that's the science of mind, page 490. I believe that every human being must have their opportunity to dream. But true dreaming is not idle wishful thinking, and it is not. It is not. It is about creating a better world for ourselves and each other. It is casting our imaginations beyond where we are now, which is why immediately Star Trek came to mind. It is seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, smelling, and feeling ourselves functioning vitally within our heart's desire, engaging all 5 senses, or the extra ones that we know we have that science isn't really good at explaining right now. Even if it may seem virtually impossible at the moment. I mean, come on, iPads. To dream is to mentally create a new place for self-expression where none shows forth now. But we cannot do this if we are encumbered by the demands of the day. That's Maslow's ladder. That's what we mean about having basic needs met, and that's one of the reasons why we are engaged in social justice. Because we want everyone's basic needs to be met so that everybody could dream. Because could you imagine what we could do if everybody's basic needs were met? We'd have flying cars by now. At least I think so. Consequently, there must be private times in which we allow our creative images to soar. And that means that there are times that we are allowed to do nothing. Okay? We do not have to grind all the time. We do not have to work all the time. We do not have to, because trust me, I've done a whole lot of nothing for a week. I mean, partly because I didn't have the energy, and partly because, you know what? I needed the break. I needed time to dream, to see what's next. So, you need that time too. It's one of the reasons why I'm always advocating a nap. I suggest we take care in sharing our dreams with others because not everyone will see them as we do. And it is hard to share a dream with somebody that we love and have them turn around and say, oh, that's not possible. Some people may denigate them as foolishness. We can, however, share these important images with those who dare to dream with us. The only limitation the mind of God knows is what we impose upon it. Truth. Otherwise, its response to us is limitless. In all our creative endeavors, we have a willing partner in the universal presence. Let me read that again. In all our creative endeavors, we have a willing partner in the universal presence. Remember, Spirit never says no. We may be sure that it receives our images with the same fullness of heart with which we create them. It receives them with the same fullness of heart that we create them. So how full is your heart? How engaged in the process is your heart? And stands ready to make them a physical reality. All right. So, and then she's got that wonderful little treatment. God creates all that is, and I daily use divine wisdom in all that I think, say, and do. I continually dissolve any sense of limitation in me and move my sights to abundant living, loving relationships, and healthy activities. I know God responds to my dreams, and I am rewarded with the fruits of my vision. I know that God responds to my dreams. Gratefully, I acknowledge my oneness with God. All right, so that's Margaret Stortz. All right. The mission today, should we choose to accept it? Wow. I don't know. All right, the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to cast our imaginations beyond where we are now. To cast our imaginations, to dream bigger in whatever it is that we are doing. To go ahead and dream bigger. That's the mission. And to understand that we have a partner, a silent partner, with far more power than we can ever know, that is ready to spend it just as recklessly as we are. All right, beloveds, that's the mission today. The other mission is the same mission that I give you every time, which is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever it looks like. Big, small, does not matter. Point is to do it. And that does include that taking the nap. It includes taking a walk. It includes, picking up that book that you hadn't read in a while and really enjoyed, or maybe reasonably binge watching a TV show that you really enjoyed that set your dreams on fire. I've been watching Designing Women lately. Oof. Yeah. I remember how much I loved that show. It includes, whatever it is that's loving, kind, and compassionate for you. Taking 3 deep breaths before you speak, or actually enjoying dessert. Don't rush through it. Engage all 5 senses in your dessert. It's a good thing to engage all 5 senses in whatever it is you're doing. Too often we rush through things and we don't actually enjoy them. So let's stop that. Okay. So, the reasons why I suggest it every day. Because you deserve your own love, you deserve your own kindness, you deserve your own compassion. There's no better place to practice than on yourself, because then you create a default habit, a default setting, or a habit, so that no matter what happens, you can have that loving, kind, compassionate response. All right? You deserve your own. All right. Okay. Still got that little congestion right there. All right. Beloveds, I'm going to encourage you to engage your mind and your body. I'm going to encourage you to drink plenty of water. It is the season. It's always the season. I'm a big believer in drinking a whole lot of water. Hydration is super important. It also helps to thin that out. So, I need some more water. And to go get some early morning light to help you reset your hormones for the day. It'll improve your energy. Trust me, that's science. But also, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven right here, right now. It is all around you all the time. And we can take Emma's advice and look for the good and praise it. And we can also take Margaret's advice today and dream bigger. All right, beloveds. There's a lot going on this weekend. There's a Juneteenth celebration that we are going to go support tomorrow in the Woodlands. And then we do have an amazing service on Sunday, and we will have Reverend Marsha's memorial on Sunday. It starts at 2. So there's just a lot going on. Whatever else you want to know, including information about the Juneteenth and the email info@creativelife.org, get on that mailing list. You have until 6 p.m. today to email for the link, the Zoom link to Marsha's memorial if you cannot come in person. So, that way you always know what's going on. And he puts hot links in there. So you can just, when it says click here, it'll take you right to where you want to go. You can also follow us on all the social medias. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark, and I am the running Rev Ryan on the social medias. I know I've been a little quiet lately, but I'm working on it. There's 2 cats whose feet are all tangled up right next to me, hence the laugh. And I'm sure that there was something else I was going to say, and I don't remember what it was. And since I do need a drink of water, I'm going to tell you to have a great day, an amazing day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a Friday, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. You are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased and well represented. Never forget that. All right, beloveds. So, take care of yourself. Know that Reverend David should be around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'm supposed to get a haircut tomorrow, so I'll probably be broadcasting from my car. That'll be fun. You get to do it every 8 weeks, right? And whatever else you're doing, know that you're loved. And I will see you next time.